Are you a quitter? If you created a New Year's resolution, you just might be. Hey, beautiful disaster. Yeah, you. Here's the deal. You don't need to have your life together to start taking it back. You are not too messy, too broken, too old, or too late to start over. This podcast is where we turn your chaos into clarity, your heartbreak into healing, and your mess into your magic. I'm Marilee Grace, and together we're rewriting the story loudly, boldly, and unapologetically. Buckle up, gorgeous. It's your time to rise. Hello and happy Friday. I'm Marilee Grace, and this is my podcast. Okay, so here's the deal. I am ready to get started. Now, did you know that today is actually Quitter's Day? It is the day when approximately 23% of all the New Year's resolutions that were set have either been broken, have been discarded, or scrapped. Do you and your resolution fit this description? Don't worry, it's okay. There's always next year, right? I mean, we set the same New Year's resolutions over and over again, year after year, and we expect to have different results. Go figure. We go on autopilot when it comes time to set those resolutions, and we expect for some reason to have miraculously different results without doing the work to make the changes. And so the second Friday every January, poof, they're gone. It doesn't have to be that way. Today, we're going to be talking about how to turn those broken resolutions into goals and intentions that work, that you can reach. How do we go from a place of wanting to want to make a change to actually making that change, to a place where we are ready and we are equipped and we have a plan to succeed? And it's important to have a plan. We can walk into a goal without a plan, and guess what? It's not going to work. So, making sure that we have a plan and we work that plan. So, buckle up, gorgeous. We're going to do this together. It's time to rise. Okay, so here's the deal. A couple of years ago, I was doing some research. I can't remember what exactly I was researching, but I did a search and I typed in, what is the day when most people break their New Year's resolutions? And a company called Strata, they are a fitness-based app. They did some research on that subject because they wanted to find out what the trend was. Why did people break their resolutions, their fitness-based resolutions, and when? They actually saw that there was a decline in the use of the app, and it was always around the second Friday in January. And they found that it's typically about 23%. Now, that particular number, that changes, okay? Depending upon what source you look at. Some sources say that within the first 30 days, that up to 75% of the resolutions have gone by the wayside. Those are not good odds. I do want to tell you, though, there was one year when I created and set my New Year's resolution, and I have been able to successfully keep that New Year's resolution going on something like 15 years. Oh, that's a long time. You know what it was? My resolution was to never create another New Year's resolution ever again. And I succeeded. But all kidding aside, I did set that I did actually set that as a resolution because I felt like I was constantly setting resolutions and I was failing, but I didn't have a plan. I also want to share with you that three of the top resolutions that are consistently set every year are health related. People say, I want to lose weight. I want to get in better shape. I want to exercise more. I want to improve my health. Great, but ambiguous. What does that mean? What does lose weight mean? Okay, I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, that's great too. How are you going to do it? We set these resolutions, they're big, they're ambiguous, and they actually are setting us up for failure because we don't define them. Uh, if we don't define them, if we don't have a plan, it's hard to have lasting change. One thing I do want to be very clear on, we can get lost in the weeds about whether it's the word resolution. I like to use the word goals, goal setting. I like to use the words intentions. We can get lost in the weeds about the words that we use. If you want to use the word resolution, that's fine. I prefer goals. I prefer intentions because for me, the actual word resolution equals something we joke about. We set the resolution, we break the resolution. We laugh about it, we joke about it. Everybody sets a resolution, everybody breaks their resolution. I don't want to break it. I want to set a goal. I want to set a goal and I want to achieve it. I want to set a goal and I want to actually achieve it. So I don't use the word resolution, but if you want to use it, whatever word you use, it's up to you. As long as we work towards it and as long as we're achieving it. I have found that there are 7 steps to achieving goals. I'm going to talk through them. I want you to know that I am going to make available to you a template that you can follow. It's going to be in the description. You're just going to click on the link and you're going to have the template with the 7 steps. And I'm also going to give you kind of a cheater glimpse of a goal that I have set, an example goal, so you can see how to use it. And then you'll have the blank template that you can use over and over and over again as you're setting and achieving your goals. So here's number 1. First thing, probably one of the defining things is why. Why are you setting this goal? Why is important to you? What is your why that makes you want to cry? If you cannot come up with a why, or you can't dive deeper into your why, and what I mean by dive deeper is if you are asking me, Marilee, what is your goal that you want to work on this year? My goal is I want to create a space of peace in my life. Well, that's great. Why? Why do I want peace in my life? When I have peace in my life, I am calmer. When I operate out of a place of peace in my life, I show up better for the people I love. I show up better at my job. I show up better for myself. I have a positive outlook. That's what I mean by going deeper. Your why, go deep. Get to the heart of the why that makes you want to cry. And if you can't come up with a why, then it's probably not the right time right now to work on that goal. And that's okay. There are times when we want to do something and when we really want it. We really want to do it. So after you've established your why, you're going to break down that big, hairy goal, that big, I'm going to lose weight, into workable, smaller pieces. Big goals without direction are overwhelming. Create doable steps. Third thing, one small thing, making one small change consistently compounds and makes a big difference. For example, if we were in Los Angeles, let's say we're on the West Coast, we're in Los Angeles, we're catching a flight to New York City, and we hop on that plane, but unbeknownst to us, the pilot has put in the what are they called? The coordinates 1 degree off. Let's say he's 1 degree off south. Flying across the United States, are we going to land in New York City? No, we are not. We are going to land 40 miles south of New York City. Now, in this case, we would all be really upset. That one small thing made a big difference in a bad way. But if we twist it for goal setting, if we make one small change and we do it consistently for the entire year, where are you going to be in relationship to that goal at the end of the year? Big changes, positive changes, noticeable changes from one small thing. So small, workable, consistent, compounding, doable steps. Fourth, schedule it. Do not rely on your memory and just say, well, I'm going to exercise and I'm going to do it in the mornings. Morning rolls around, you're running late, you forgot to set your phone alarm, you slept through your phone alarm, you pushed snooze too many times. Where does that goal go? Where does that thing that you promised yourself you were going to do, where does it go? Well, it gets pushed aside. So scheduling it, setting up a reminder for yourself so you don't forget is important. Time and place. How's it going to happen? Where's it going to happen? Accountability. That's number 5. Have an accountability partner, an accountability community. That's what this is. It's growing a community where we can be accountable to each other for the things that we are working on in our life, for the changes we are wanting to make in our lives. When I was going through my divorce, I did fall heavily onto 2 online communities, and I also had a therapist that I was going to see and eventually working with my coach. And they were my accountability partners and my accountability community. It's important to have those. When you have an accountability partner, you want someone who can be quite honest with you, who can cheer you on when you are hitting those goals and you are hitting those small steps and you are being consistent and you are making the necessary changes. And they can be very real with you when you're trying to give yourself excuses and trying to kind of ease over the fact that you're not working towards your goals. Somebody who can be straight with you, somebody who can be honest in a kind way is important. And having a community, to me, it's vital. Celebrating, that's number 6. Celebrate your victories and know in advance how you're going to celebrate. Now, let's say I have created the goal that I'm going to reduce weight this year. I have worked through all the way through 1 through 5, and I get to number 6 and I say, when I lose 5 pounds, I'm scheduling a trip to Hawaii to celebrate. They don't match. Something that would match for 5 pounds would be when I hit a 5-pound weight loss, I am going to go out and I'm going to get a new pair of earrings. Or I am going to, when I hit 20 pounds, I'm going to go get a pedicure. We don't want to set ourselves up for failure by having our celebration or our treat be something that is going to throw us off of our path to success. So, victories, celebrate them. Sometimes it's just even an atta girl calling a friend saying, "Hey, I did this," calling your accountability partner and saying, "I did this. And I'm very proud of myself," and let them praise you and give you pats on the back and, the warm fuzzies. Finally, number 7, redefine your slip ups. You are going to slip up. You are going to make mistakes along the way. Learn from them, observe them. Even though it's hard, notice it and get back onto the path to success. If you notice it and you can figure out why, what you did, how you slipped up, why you slipped up, then you can make those adjustments so that it doesn't happen again or it doesn't happen as often. And that's going to help you. Remember, it's progress, not perfection. If we think that we have to be perfect along this path, we're setting ourselves up for failure. This system works for any goal that you are setting. If it's a health related goal, or if it's something that you're working on related to your divorce journey. I mentioned the idea of I wanted to create more peace in my life. That was actually something that I worked on. I didn't know what peace looked like. I didn't know what it felt like. I didn't know how to be at peace in my body. So I'm going to walk through it just real quick here. The steps, what it might look like. I already did step 1. What does peace look like? Why do I want peace? And I went one step deeper and one step deeper and one level deeper. And so I have a why. I want to show up better for myself. I want to show up better for others. I want to be working and operating from a place of calm. Get it down, that big, hairy goal, down into steps. What are some of the workable pieces? For me, it was creating a journaling practice. And I didn't just say, I'm going to journal every day this year. That would be hard. If I went from 0 days journaling to I'm going to journal every single day, setting myself up for failure. So let's put parameters around it. I am going to journal 2 days during the week, Monday through Friday, and 1 day on the weekend. So one time on Saturday or Sunday, total of 3, 2 during the week, 1 on the weekend. I'm going to do it in the mornings. I am going to set a timer to go off or an alarm to go off after my alarm clock. So my alarm clock goes off at 5. I'm going to set one to go off at 5:10. So I've gotten out of bed, I've gotten my coffee. When it goes off at 5:10, I know it's time to sit and journal. And then I'm going to journal for 5 minutes at a time, and it's going to be a free flow journal. Whatever pops into my head, it's going to go from my head, out through my body, through my pen, onto the paper. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to correct my grammar, my spelling, any of that. I'm just going to free write. And I'm going to do that 2 times a week and once on the weekend. That is a doable, workable goal. Third thing, one small change makes a big difference. I am going to, when I am breaking up and making those small workable pieces, I am going to do things like put down journaling. That was one of them. I practiced breathing techniques to help calm my body. I wanted to get better about guided meditation. I wanted to get better about being in nature, but I didn't have all of those things happen at once. I chose one. I chose journaling. And if I would have only have done journaling throughout the entire year, I know that I would have had big changes. But what I did is I did that one thing. I did it well. I reviewed it. If it wasn't working, I made tweaks to it. I slowly added to it and said, I want to journal 3 times during the week and once on the weekend. Now I journal most every day, but I usually hit 5 days a week. I don't even have to have that down as what I'm going to do because it's become a habit. And once I got really good at that, I thought, okay, now it's time to add in learning some breathing techniques to self-calm. What does that look like? When's it going to happen? Okay, I'm going to do it twice a day, once when I wake up and once when I go to bed. Set a timer. Put it on sticky notes to remind myself to help me create this success. And then that one small thing led to big changes. I already touched on how I scheduled it. I put it in my phone. I wrote it in my planner. I pasted up sticky notes to remind myself that this is what I have to do over my headboard. If I was supposed to do something right before bed, it was there on my headboard, reminding me to do it. By the mirror in your bathroom. That's a great place to post it. Accountability. I had my 2 online groups. I had my therapist. I had my coach, and I shared with them regularly. They helped me to celebrate the wins, to celebrate the victories, to be my cheering section. And then finally, the slips. How did I redefine my slip ups? There were weeks when I didn't journal. There were times when I chose not to. I evaded it. I ignored it. I procrastinated through it. And there was usually a deeper thing going on. What feeling am I afraid to feel? Oh, when I'm journaling, I've been journaling about this and it creates these feelings. And how do I work through those feelings? Okay. I can work through those feelings by breathing through them. I can work through those feelings by going on a walk. I can work through those feelings by discussing it with my therapist. I learned from my mistakes. I learned from my slip ups and progress, not perfection. That's how you use that system. Again, it is going to have a link in the description for this particular episode where you're going to find not only the template, but how to work through. And I'll probably use the peace, creating a place of peace in my life as an example. Know that you can use it for any goal that you are wanting to set. So here we are. We're to the end of our very first episode of Okay, so here's the deal. I'd like for you to tell me what your takeaway was. What did you like? Put it in the comments for me. It's going to be helpful for me to plan content that's going to be beneficial for you. I'd also like to grow this community together. You can do that by liking, sharing, you can follow, you can subscribe. All those are a way that it's going to help grow this community, grow this support network as we travel through the ups and downs of navigating your divorce. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Marilee Grace. Okay, so here's the deal. Until next time, just know you belong here. Hey, beautiful. Thank you for spending time with me today. And congratulations for showing up for yourself. If today's episode was helpful, share it with a friend and let me know in the comments what resonated most. Your feedback helps me create content that truly matters as we grow this community together. If you haven't already, subscribe and leave a review. It helps this podcast reach more women who need this space. Okay, so here's the deal. You can find me wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. I'll meet you back here next Friday. Until then, remember, you belong here. It's time to rise.